What is up, people? It is Stand Up Sales episode 11. We are 11 weeks on the trot. Fucking pats on the back for us. I genuinely didn't think we'd make it this far. But
I thought we had like one or two when I was
yeah, honestly, I was like, this is going to be fun for like 2 weeks, and then both were too busy. But fuck it, here we are. Alright, today's episode is... Last week was what do we hate about salespeople? Like, why do salespeople suck? And now
that was
this
2
week,
episodes ago. Last week was why people don't get paid enough in sales.
Oh yeah, we did a sales hiring one last week. And then this week, it's what do we hate about prospects? Why do prospects suck? If you're a prospect who gets called a lot, listen to this and maybe you will get called less. Or do all of this stuff and you will definitely be called less because everyone will think you're an asshole.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. So this one's really for the salespeople or the business owners. This one might be a little bit of a shot in the gut. But as sales, I mean, in my sales, nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of crazy situations and deals that fell through and went through that didn't expect to go through. So, yeah, this will be a fun one. So, what is your biggest pet peeve with a prospect?
It's tough, right? Because, like, in my mind, prospects are annoying for different reasons, and I haven't ranked those reasons in my head. But, like, the one that immediately stands out is, like, the genuine zero contact. Like, they may as well be dead. That annoys me the most, because I'm like, we had a conversation. We've literally spoken, and now you just want to disappear off the face of the earth? Fine. Okay, I don't mind. I'll keep following up and keep doing my job. There's going to come a point where I just get frustrated, and either I quit because I can't bother anymore, I've got other prospects to deal with, or I'm just going to be, like, personally attacked and offended by it, especially if a contract is out. The word now that I think about it is contract is out, pure ghost. Just tell me you don't want it. Just say, I'm not interested anymore, thanks for your time, but this isn't going to happen. That's all I want. Don't just ignore me. That pisses me off. Yeah, now that I thought about it, that pisses me off the most, more than anything.
That was the lowest hanging fruit one. If you didn't say that, I would have been a little weird. Well, adversely, that was the one that was in my head, obviously, as well. As like, there's nothing worse than someone who gives you a commitment and then backs out of the commitment. In my mind, the other thing that really pisses me off, I deal on the appointment side, right? So that's more of your big agitation is like closing. Mine is people who reschedule calls over and over within like 3 minutes of the time. You know the call's on your calendar at the beginning of the day or the week. Unless you're a psycho and you're just like flying by the seat of your pants and your calendar is just like a mystery box that you get a notification like, whoa,
this week today.
I have. People who reschedule meetings, I have a very strict policy now. Yeah. And it's liberating. If you ever reschedule with me, like you get one reschedule. The second reschedule has to be a crazy reason, or you're just never ever getting it. I delete calendars once they don't show up.
Yeah,
I'm like,
because then they get the notification, right?
This has been deleted. They're like, whoa. Yeah, that's my biggest thing is reschedulers.
The interesting one that I got recently, someone cancelled like on the minute, like the meeting started. Literally, the minute the meeting started, he declined the conversation. And then when I was like, hey, what's up, dude? Like, what's going on? Are you busy? Like, has something come up? He was like, oh, yeah, I thought about it and I didn't really want this. And I was like, oh, that's fair enough. Like, cool. Like, I don't have any hard feelings towards you at that point. And then, literally a week later, he comes back and he was like, hey, I changed my mind again and I'm a really good prospect for you. So can we set up a time? And I'm like, what happened in that 1 week that made you go, I don't want this, and now you really want this, and now you're self-justifying how great a prospect you are for me?
He probably talked to someone else and didn't like him. Oh, these guys were not that good. I guess I'll try these other guys.
Yeah, time wasters. I think that's the biggest, like, ultimately the biggest bugbear for a lot of people in sales is just pure play time wasters.
Well, because as a salesperson, your calendar is sacred. Each calendar appointment is a potential to make commission and make money, right?
Yep.
Grow the business, whatever it is. If someone books, someone else could have booked it at the same time. Like that's like the biggest thing. Like, oh my God. Especially if it's like a good time slot, like a 1 p.m. or like a
just after lunch. Yeah, big them.
Yeah, right before lunch, right after lunch. Like that's money times. Friday calls are always a crapshoot. I never Friday meetings. I'm always like, there's like a 60% chance this is showing up because everyone on Friday is like, that's a 4 p.m. on a Friday. Why the hell did I ever commit to that? I do the same thing. I see a Friday. I had one this week. I looked at my calendar ahead of time. That's what normal people do. And I was looking at the one on Friday at like 4:30. I was like, who is this? What is this call?
You immediately reassess like every decision you've made that has led you to being on a call at 5 p.m. on a Friday. You're like, I don't need this. Like, how much do I really need this?
Yeah.
So I probably don't need this.
Yeah, and like that's the big thing that salespeople need to understand is like the person's shoes that's on the call, right?
Yeah.
Like, have you made it to the point where this person needs to show up? That's your job as a salesperson is to make sure they don't just say that the calendar meeting is like they're gonna listen to it, right? Like you need to make them fully understand why it's worth their 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 15 minutes of their time.
I think
that's another thing. On that note, 45-minute calendar invites. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. You take up 2 time slots. It's like, why? What is it?
I was speaking to someone, and he was like, yeah, I swear by 45-minute calendar slots. And I was like, okay, I'm open to the idea of it. Like, just explain your point. He was like, I just can't get calls done in 30 minutes. And I was like, that's you being bad at sales. That's the only reason. He was like, yeah, but I just need the extra time. And I was like, okay, how often do calls run for 45 minutes? He was like, no, they normally do about 35. And I was like, speed up and book 30 minutes. Everyone hates you. He was like, yeah, but you know. And then his second call, his demo call, was an hour long. I was like, dude, what are you
So a
talking
demo
about?
call can be long, but a disco call, first call, never longer than 30 minutes. Never.
Yeah, but at that point, you've had an hour and 45 minutes with this person. What are you doing? What are you possibly talking about for nearly 2 hours?
With like a real enterprise SaaS, hour-long demo.
Put it this way, they weren't an enterprise fucking SaaS.
All right. Well, or like multiple stakeholders, like you have a CEO, a CMO, a marketing manager, like you can't get everything done in 30, and then it's just going to prolong the sales process. So if you really need an hour, take the hour, but set the expectation of the client.
Yep.
Like, I'm sending you an invite for 1 hour of your time because this, this, and this.
Yep.
That's why it's warranted of an hour.
Now that we're kind of discussing it, and I'm playing out all the scenarios that have pissed me off historically. So we have on one of our Calendlies, we have as soon as you fill it in, it sends you to our VSL page. It's like VSL, bunch of case studies, blah, 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 testimonials, etc. Now, one of the questions on the Calendly is, I agree to watch VSL. How many people do it? Up for debate, right? But then we follow up with that message being like, hey, just in case you missed it, here's a link to the VSL. Reply back and let me know you've got this. And you get a greater amount of updates. Like, oh yeah, I just watched it. Looks cool. Looking forward to speaking to you. Great. Buy in. Then the text that we send out a day before is like, hey, just in case you haven't seen this, here's a bunch of case studies and our VSL. Just checking whether you've seen this. And most people are like, oh yeah, thanks for the update. Didn't get around to watching it. Sweet. Or like, yeah, I watched it already. No worries. See you on blank date. Then on the first fucking like 5 questions, they're like, okay, cool. So you've watched our VSL and you must be pretty familiar with like the work that we've done and our process. Oh, I didn't get a chance to watch the VSL. I reminded you 4 fucking times. That is unreasonable, right? People who can't follow simple instructions. Definitely up there.
I never watch VSLs.
Asshole. Asshole. Who's so much better. What is wrong with you? You are the prospect that we hate. You are that guy.
But I don't say that I watched it. I don't give you any false... I'm pretty transparent on it. Like, I know what the VSL is.
Yeah.
I don't book calls for no reason. Like, I don't just go on someone's website like, oh, this is kind of cool. I mean, figure out what it is. Like, no. Like, I only book calls
because I want to buy.
Yeah, if you book a call with me, there's a pretty good chance I'm buying your product.
Yeah.
I'm not here to waste time.
Unless senior decision makers or senior members of staff come in and fuck it up.
Yeah,
Throw back to episode 3, episode 4 of stand-up sales.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I did
God.
not go with Zoom Info. I went with Cognizant. Because Cognizant's like, hey, you've been a pretty great client. Do you want to do this? And they gave me a little bit of an incentive. I was like, yeah, cool.
That's great. That's exactly what I
That's
want.
the big thing, though, is like change. Like, I have all these SOPs and people who are trained on Cognizant. Like, it's not just a price thing. It's like I gotta read somebody this software and all this stuff. Yeah. So, wasn't compelling enough.
Yeah. I mean, so this is something that we're actually dealing with Mail.it, right? So, like, especially with something like a cold email platform, you're so deeply entrenched with whatever system you use, right? You've got systems, you've got SOPs, you've got this, that, and the other. You've got literally the physical amount of time it takes you to switch all shit over. And, like, the number one thing I leave until, like, right at the back end of the actual sales call is like, okay, cool. So, like, if you were to look at another provider, what do you think would be, like, the time investment it would take you to transfer everything over? And there's this moment of realization, and I do it on purpose, of, it's like, oh, dude, yeah, like, I really don't want to switch everything over. Like, that's going to be a fucking pain in the ass. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It is a genuine, horrible task. But in reality, from everything we've spoken about today, would you rather be on this than your current provider? And they're like, honestly, yeah, like, it is way better. And I'm like, okay, so if we white gloved the whole thing and you'd snap the finger and in 5 days you'd have a fully functional system set with all your clients, prospects, sequences, and all of your domains ready to send, does that make it worth it? And they go, fuck, yeah, fine, done. I don't care. That'll do. I don't have to do any work, right? That's something that I stress a lot when I coach closers. Put up blockers that you know are easy to get over. And they will immediately go, oh, yeah, no, that is a serious problem. Oh, you've solved it for me. I guess I can't use that as an excuse now. Fuck. Right? So, like, just that little like, mental trick of, like, going, hey, look, this is a problem. How you solve it.
Being transparent.
Yeah. Implementation issues are a legitimate element of a sales process, especially when you're in the SaaS world. And it's like, okay, so how are you going to solve it? And they go, I don't know, it's going to be really difficult. Okay, if I can solve it for you, does it make it easier? Yeah, it does. Okay, great. Sounds, well, it's almost as if I knew what I was doing.
Wow, it's like you've encountered this before. I've been reading a lot of Oren Klaff this month, and dude, he's just the fucking goat. He talks about like exactly what you just said.
Yeah, it's really useful psychology.
Yeah. He's a badass. Like he does like one call, $25 million close, like insane shit. And it's all psychology. I don't know if you've read Flip the Script. I'm like,
I haven't. That's on my list of books to go through.
It's good. It's really good.
I'm currently reading Buy Then Build, which I think you enjoy.
I just got this. Don Vesh had it.
Is it Stephen Pressfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
it looks like it's going
list,
to take
but way
7
lower.
That's how
What the
deep
hell?
the pages are. Every page is like that.
Oh, it's just like a little book of quotes?
It's just like, no. It's just, I guess the printer just decided not to print at the bottom of the page. Oh, there we go. But most of them are like 3/4 of a page.
They said, how can we charge this man the most amount of money for printing this book? And it was, let's space all of the pages out into individual pages and print them.
Yeah, they build per page. I wrote 4 paragraphs, double spaced. Yeah, it's 132 pages, Steven. And it's like a weird, tiny book anyway. Like if this was like...
You have giant hands, so that's not weird tiny for most people. That's
No,
like,
look at it and compare my face.
You also have a huge head. Like, what do you want from me here? You set yourself up for both of those. Right, that's an objective thing.
Thank you. If they put it into the $100 million, it'd be 4 pages. Do you have a hard copy of 100 Million Offers?
No, I never bought it. I got the Audible and the ebook, and that was it.
I bought the Audible, the ebook, and it because I'm a weirdo. Let me see.
You really wanted it in hard copy?
Yeah, of course.
Was it it's fucking packaging? What are you doing here? Oh my god. Nice.
It's huge.
Yeah, that is it's unreasonably large.
It's a massive book.
Yeah, it looks like a kid's book. Like you would like learn to read out of that book.
Yeah, you're like, next page. Next page.
Oh dear. So
yeah, well, I guess this episode turned into books, but another thing that bothers me about prospects is, can you guess?
I mean, there literally is a million reasons that it could be, so no, tell us. You're telling me as much as the audience, and I don't want to waste their time by sitting and trying to guess a bunch of reasons.
I need to talk to my business partner.
He stinks.
Or just like half-assed objections.
The generic, I have a problem that you can't solve on the call, so I have to leave objection. Yeah.
Or I think I can't solve on this call.
Yeah. So how do you deal with that? Because that's actually a really useful one. Because I have my method of dealing with it, and I know everyone has their own, and
You just deconstruct it. Like, what do you have to talk to them about?
Okay.
What is their cog in the decision-making process?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you need them to say to move forward? And just have them tell me more information about it.
Okay, cool. That pretty much tracks with what I do.
Yeah.
The big thing for me when you get like the partner objection, everyone makes it like there are dumb ways of trying to solve this, and then there are smart ways, right? The way that you're describing is the smart way. The dumb way is, well, do you think that they'd be angry if you went ahead with this? Shut the fuck up. That's a stupid question to ask. No, they wouldn't be angry, but I'm still not going to do it without their sign off. That's what a business partner is, right?
Yeah.
So the only way of you being able to deconstruct it, like you were saying, is to go, okay, what are they making this decision based on? What do they really care about? What's the most important thing for them? Oh, it's this. Okay, cool. And
My business partner,
yeah,
I never consult him on anything. I'm just like, hey, we just got this. He goes, oh, cool. All right. Just your judgment. So I kind of like, I poke the bear sometimes. It's like, do you need to run this by your business partner to make a decision for the business? They say, yeah, then all right, that's warranted. I had one that they're 4 co-owners. And I talked to one of them, and then the next call had 3 of them, and then the third call had 4 of them.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they're all co-owners. They're brothers. Pretty cool.
Weird, like, I hate prospects that call themselves stupid titles. You are a 3-person business. You are not the CEO of shit. Stop it. Stop it. You're childish. Grow up. Right?
It's founder.
Yeah, you're a founder. And if you have a partner, you're a co-founder. That's it. Right? Stop inflating this where it sounds like you're the running a $3 billion corporation. You're not. It's you, your mate, you both stay at home with your parents in a bedroom. Stop being something you're not. Grow up.
I'm a board member.
But yeah, no, like the partner objection is super common. I feel like, especially in the SMB space, and like you won't get it as much when you go up a level, but then it just turns into a different variant of that. Oh, I need to run this by my CEO. I need to talk to my marketing director. I need to blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you address it the same way.
Yeah. The best one is like the CMO that has to like run it by their marketing manager. Like,
oh yeah, when it goes downwards, it's like, what are you asking about?
Aren't you going to tell them what to do anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh yeah, actually, yeah.
I had this once. They're like, yeah, the only reason I know they're 99% bought in, but I want them to like take over this whole side, so I want to make sure that they're like 100% on doing this. And I was like, well, if they're going to take over, you still are in control, and then you just put them in the process, and then they run it, right? Like, what is there to discuss here? She's like, yeah, I know, but like I have to go through the motions, otherwise I'm going to feel like I'm not doing justice by them. And I was like, you know what, fair enough. Like, I get that. Like, I wouldn't want to come into a new role and it's, oh, by the way, everything that you currently know about this isn't happening, it's this, and then have to deal with it. Like, yeah, I get it, it's a pain in the ass, but in my mind, is that still kind of redundant?
Yeah, kind of redundant. All right, you're next.
I already went. I had my people with dumb job titles on.
That's kind of a...
All right, fine. Okay. Yeah, this winds me up. Don't send a minion to have a call with me. Don't send a minion. That pisses me off having chronic.
I've never really had that.
Oh God, I get it from time to time and it winds me up something chronic. However, there is a way around it, but like, it still pisses me off. If I've emailed you saying, hey, I can help you solve this problem which is critical to your business's function, and your response is, cool, here's a junior BDR. Go speak to them for an hour. I'm like, what? Who is he? Does he know business as well as you? Why is he in that job? No, piss me off. I wanted a conversation with you, that's why I emailed you.
Yeah, reach out to you, not your BDR.
Yeah, exactly. No, do not palm me off to a junior employee because you're too busy. Shut up. Shut up.
What's your take on the I don't do meetings? Email me.
I don't do time wasting. Goodbye. What are you talking about? That's like the dumb... No, I guarantee you have internal meetings. You may not like meetings. So okay, this is... All of that was me being facetious, right? In reality, I don't do meetings like send me an email. I will always just like high level it. We do X, Y, we get Z results. We did this for this company. This is how we improved. Is getting Z result completely useless to you? If so, no worries. If you are interested, let's find time. I can do X and Z. X, Y, Z.
Yeah. Just send me pricing.
Oh, you fuck off. If my go-to answer for this is, if pricing is your biggest decision-making factor, we aren't a fit anyway. Good luck.
I like that.
Off. Nope. Not entertaining it. And they, like, honestly, I'd say 75% of the time, they come back and they're like, it's not the biggest factor, but it's definitely an important one. I'd be like, okay, let's talk about what the most important factor is on a call.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah, I do the. Do your salespeople send pricing over email?
Nice.
Well, no, yeah. And then I think it was just in my head. What the fuck was I just thinking about? Oh, the prospect that gets on the phone and then like defends their position, like thinks they have it all figured out, but they're on the call with you. That's one of my favorites.
At that point, like, what do you respond? It's like, but why did you come here?
Yeah, I'm we're the experts here. That's why you booked a call with us. Obviously, something that we did something correct. And I mean, what we both sell is bilaterally with a mechanism in which we get them in the meeting. So it's like always a funny thing to me. Like, yeah, well, actually, our sales process is pretty good. Our salespeople are great. I was like, all right, great. Why are we on the phone here today?
Yeah.
Why is it important?
Did you just decide that you had nothing better to do for half an hour? Like, why are we here?
Yeah, why are we here? Why are we wasting each other's time?
Yeah. Like, one of my most commonly asked questions, especially when people come on and do that, is like, so what are you trying to solve right now then?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, I guess this isn't perfect. Okay, so there are issues within the business that you're trying to figure out, right? They're like, yeah, I wouldn't call them issues. I think it's just stuff that we haven't considered yet. It's like, okay, so you want to be really touchy-feely about how we use words? Let's be really touchy-feely about how poorly your business is doing.
Yeah. Also,
Dog is fairly well behaved though.
Nope, he's been on me all day. What do you hate about prospects, JMO? All right.
Yeah. Thank you for the appearance. Solid response.
Solid response. He hates ghosting, apparently, not answering.
He did his best impression of prospect ghosting.
His best impression. Yeah, he did. Awesome. So, wrapping point, episode 12. What do you want to brainstorm on?
You know what? We kind of touched on it today. Seminal sales books. Like stuff that people should read or watch or do if they want to get better at sales. I feel like that's a solid topic. We could probably talk about that for an hour pretty consistently.
Yeah, what advice to actually listen to? Because there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
I like that. Awesome. Thank you guys. See you next week.
Peace.